Continuing the series of ramblings and memories from the 491 Gallery and the Vertigo Film Club, two long-term squats in Leytonstone, London, from 2002 to 2004. So today we're going to be talking about the Blue Room. Now the Blue Room was Dave's room, and Dave told everyone that he would like to be known as the Blue Falcon because that was his superhero name, Blue Falcon. I can't remember what his special powers were. I think he probably had some special powers, but I can't remember what they were. Dave will probably let you know. So Dave's room was called the Blue Room. His name was the Blue Falcon, and he put the message out to everyone. It was a beautiful room, actually. It overlooked Grove Green Road, it had massive windows, floorboards. It was the least trashed room in the space, in a way. I just had to mend a few floorboards. So Dave put the word out. He said, everyone, could you find something blue and donate it to the room? Everything in the room is going to be either blue or white. So everything's either, and Dave would wear it like just blue and white. He'd be living this experience. We'd be living in a room which was blue and white. It's the blue and white living room experience. I don't know, just for some reason. I mean, if he was a Chelsea fan, I'd say, go for it. I could have, actually thinking about it, I could have lent him my Chelsea scarf and my bobble hat. Oh, man. Yeah, he could have worn that as part of his outfit. But his outfit was kind of like bohemian and looking and kind of... No, it was blue and sumptuous blue, and I don't know, maybe I'm hallucinating that. Maybe I'm misremembering that. But I got this feeling that he was just this dude that wore blue everything in the Blue Room. So that was his experience. He is a character that would appear throughout this telling of the story, because without Dave, it wouldn't have happened. Dave was like, I don't know, he was sent. He was an angel. He was a fallen angel. Yeah, definitely a fallen angel. Sent to, I don't know, an artist as well. Just art. Every other word was art. He loved to talk about art, and one of his favourite expressions was that is art. He'd kind of like look at something, and he'd just randomly say, that is art. So never a dull moment, especially with Dave around. So many incidents, but few stand out. I think he just split up with a girl, absolutely adore someone, and then break up, and then go into some sort of meltdown. Some sort of episode. This particular episode, I didn't realise what it was at the time, but I do remember awaking to the sound of a loud kind of bang, and not realising at the time, but we used to store away our booze downstairs. We had a little kind of cupboard. I had a little padlock on it. Wasn't brilliant, just wasn't Fort Knox or anything, but it was definitely a hindrance to anyone who just wanted to rock up and nick the booze. And on this particular occasion, Dave wanted to rock up and nick the booze because he wanted to be on a bender. He drinks heavily. So we weren't aware of that, but anyway, he'd done that. Presumably got very, very, very smashed. Now, the next thing I knew about it was walking down to Leytonstone Tube and just getting to the entrance of Leytonstone Tube and just seeing this kind of light green paint, horrible kind of garish colour paint, just thrown everywhere, all over the ground and walls, and and there was like slogans written into it, and it was a total mess. And obviously it's the main entrance to Leytonstone Tube from one side, and literally thousands of people have got to walk through this green paint, to get to work, because there's no way you could just sneak past it. It was everywhere. It was like a bomb had gone off. So there's footprints through it too. Yeah, it was just a disaster. I mean, looks like someone's complete DIY disaster. You don't really draw two and two together that we were the biggest freaks in the neighbourhood, that more likely that it was going to be one of us. I didn't kind of think, oh shit, that's the 491 gallery. Or I didn't think Dave. I just thought, it's peculiar. Some random artist did it maybe. Or I don't know. Anyway, I think nothing of it until I heard the story. That it had been Dave. Dave had done it. Dave had got really, really smashed. Decided to go down to Leytonstone Tube and write slogans, messages to the community and the commuters, basically, telling them not to bother to go to work, just writing, do not go to work, or why don't you give your job up, or just all these kind of like really like the last thing you want to see when you're on your way to work is someone writing, don't bother, you don't have to, it's easy, you can live like me, be free. So someone had to go at him, and then David sort of said, just fuck off, and just been rude to him. And the guy had gone down to the tube station and warned the station staff, made a report about it to the station staff, and then they sent. I don't think there was security. I think they were just sort of two hapless kind of guys from the ticket office. To which David picked up a tin of like light green paint, thrown the entire pot at this poor station man, just a couple of station guys, and just covered them in paint, and then that was it. The gloves were off. I mean, the police were called. Dave apparently was just running around this. It's like a weird bus sculpture they got outside the front. So anyway, he'd been chased around that because you could climb on it apparently, and they'd been trying to get him down, and eventually they did, and I think they sectioned him. I'm not sure. It was probably a little bit more than just a nicking. I think they sectioned him on that occasion. Just meant he disappeared. Was it 28 days? Or, I don't know. He was away for a while. So yeah, that was it. Dave out of action for a few weeks while he was, I don't know, getting assessed somewhere. And years later, we're talking like 2000 and we're talking 2004 to 2018. Kind of just had the feeling there's so much paint chucked around. You're gonna see some little speck somewhere. You're gonna see that one little speck that they just missed. Everything else has just been walked away by thousands and thousands of feet, and scrubbed away, and there it was, right at the top, underneath the railings, a tiny, tiny little speck, but discernible speck, and I knew the colour. So I recognised. I colour charted it immediately, and it was a speck from Dave's performance outside Leytonstone Tube. So that was nice. That was a kind of connection back. That was history. I felt like stopping some random person walking past me and just saying to them, do you realise what this speck of paint means? That is art.